So, who wants to briefly recall the events of last time?
Not it.
Shred.
I saw this coming a mile away. Let's see. Failed at any percent murder your mom speedrun. Probably watched Thingmore get stabbed way too long. While having a conversation with maybe it is my mom, maybe it is just my imagination. Hildy definitely went through some trauma and was sad that both outcomes sucked.
Sorry.
And then Keeper, I guess, was just like Keeper. Just, Keeper needs a union. And I'll be honest, I think that was 90% of what I remembered.
That was a good summary.
Oh, Shred, you do
Always just the best.
I'm sure I missed something critical. I think that's the only other part of the summary. I'm 90% sure I missed something important.
Literally, one of the
remember.
only noteworthy things you thought happened last session was Keeper.
We skipped the entirety of Odril having, a thing, but good.
See,
we know
I
that
knew
keeps
this was
a union. We missed the whole thing with Freya. We missed the whole thing with Odril, but good. We know about Keeper.
Pestle slayed a dragon. Fuck that.
There's that too.
Think about Freya. Oh my gosh, are you gaslighting me? Do I need to check for
What? No,
dementia?
you're crazy. That was a joke.
It's D&D. He's grease lighting you.
Grease lighting?
Pinky.
Yeah, I do remember the Joel thing a little bit. Not being faithful. And that was most of it. Oh, and Thamor got a stone and Apsados did it. That was also important.
Yeah, because
And Hildy got a stone. See, yeah.
It's
Found
time.
the speed run.
Yeah, it's time to visit mommy.
Okay.
When you're done watching that, Thamor gets stabbed. You go watch mommy. I'm sorry.
Apsados with some popcorn, just kind of watching
that is
events
the wrong
unfold.
channel.
Yeah, so something like that, I guess. Huh. Alright,
When
well,
he asked you for a session summary, this is about the tier of information you should be expecting.
yeah, I'm just trying to think of how to go from there, I guess. So yeah, you guys are still in the second-ish, chamber of this large, of the Temple of Desires. You were instructed / kind of found out from carvings / keepers / the tablet to go about and find these objects of your desire, these stones that you've been acquiring, and notice that they are all varying degrees of shine or luster, with different words written upon them, kind of relating to the task that you, or the vision you had, or what you had seen or done to obtain them, and the choices you made in doing so. So we currently have Seabreeze with her stone saying freedom, Freda's with acceptance, Odril's with Pyrrhic, Pestil's with ruler, Pyrrhic, sorry, I keep saying that wrong, Pestil's with ruler, Thamor with rescue, and Hildy with love. Apsathos is still stoneless.
Unstoned. He seeks to rectify that problem.
So what will you guys do, seeing as you all have, except for one, a stone? However, could there be more in here? Could there be more to this area? Who knows? Find out tonight on we'll go ahead and start.
Dragon Ball Z.
So yeah, you guys were in the central chamber, two of you kind of washing yourselves off, much to the displeasure of Keeper, who is now trying to scrub the water. What are you guys doing?
As people are kind of milling around, Odril had stepped off and had a conversation with Hildy. A certain ceiling cat was watching.
And I eavesdropped.
I ain't dropping
As
no
is
Eve,
tradition.
sir. But yeah, and they would be coming back around this time.
Wait, I just had a thought. Would Seabreeze have been within range when I popped off those temporary hit points? How close
Within
were you?
within 10 feet.
Like here?
Oh, no,
No,
you
no,
weren't close
no,
enough
no.
then.
Certainly not.
Close enough to eavesdrop, not close enough to fondle.
Touch, yeah. We are off to a good start tonight.
It only goes up from here.
are.
Way to set the mood, Shred. That was good.
It's been a long week. I need it.
Oh, we all do.
I will try my best to horribly traumatize your characters to a point where they are crippled beyond belief.
Please do.
Why stop now?
I thought you say, why stop there? It's like, well, I guess I could go
Well.
even further. All right. Anyway, so you guys are heading back. Again, inside the central chamber, it's very calm, peaceful. The echoes of the outer rings of the temple are not heard in here. Just the trickle and silent lapping of the oasis waters, and of course, Keeper's humming and hawing as he is very frustratingly trying to clean the blood and dirt out of the water that Thamor is spreading everywhere. If the kobold could give stink eyes, this one is giving you 2 of them.
Fueguint.
Different character. We don't talk about that character anymore.
Oh, I love Fueguint.
Well, then go back to Dunmore. Maybe he's still working there.
Is Seabreeze like out in the, or is she in incognito right now?
I'm in. Oh my God, tongue-tied. How? Sorry. Totally normal. Just standing there. Actually,
Cat got
probably
your tongue?
dangling her feet off the edge here.
Cat got your tongue.
Apparently.
Oh boy.
Low hanging fruit, man.
Yes. I will take it. All right.
Yep, she's just hanging out.
Seabreeze, can I ask you a favor?
I suppose that depends, but go ahead.
Depends on what.
What the favor is.
This is probably going to sound a little odd, but I would appreciate it if you would watch me.
How so?
Well, you strike me as someone who's good at noticing when things are out of the ordinary. You know, I'm gonna be really honest. I'm high as a kite right now, and this place sucks and is making me deal with a lot of shit I'd rather not think about. And I, frankly, don't really trust myself right now. I attacked Thamor earlier, and he lied about it, and I have no idea why, but
Oh.
if I'm attacking my friends, then obviously I'm not okay.
I see. I don't. I can watch you, but I think what you really are looking for right now is some comfort. I would. Well, I am not. I will be honest with you. I am not very good at making new friends and. Well, I should not say that. I can make superficial friends, but I have trouble making deep friendships with people. But if I know from looking at others what you might want right now, it would be like a hug. and a warm cup of tea. Can I hug you?
Only if you're comfortable doing that.
He kneels down and gives you a fleeting but tender hug. I think you are much stronger than you think. But we only have so much time to get through this trial. So, what I will tell you is that if you are feeling shaky, nervous, like you need to run, make sure I see you first and I will keep an eye on you, and then do not be startled, but I will go with you. I will follow you. I will try to keep you safe if you need to run.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, I know it's it's difficult to feel like you're alone, but I have done it for many, many years, so I know how it feels.
Well, now probably isn't the best time to get into it, but yeah, it's not a feeling that I enjoy.
Well, I thank you that you trust me enough to tell me these things, but I will help you as you've asked. He sort of stiffens and isn't really. It's awkward.
Mhm.
Kind of stands up. Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
She'll see Breeze the awkwardness, and she'll start walking away.
That's appreciated.
Odril at this point will have approached Absynthos. Princeling,
Oh,
you have yet to receive your gem, yes?
he looks around. I think he sees some people have their gems. Yes, it appears I'm unworthy of a gem at this time.
Do you intend to retrieve one, or shall we proceed without you?
Remind me, do we actually need, each one of us need to have a gem itself to do it? Do we only need a certain amount? My remember is we only need a certain amount of gems to proceed as a group.
I am unsure. Kobold looks up at
Yeah.
Keeper.
He's busily trying to like take his rags and like soak up the water and like filter it, but it's not to much avail. What?
Remind us what you saw of those who came before. Did they each need a gem to vanish?
Well, yeah, you gotta offer one to me, the master.
Damn piece of... Just storms off.
You don't have to meet the master, but that's why you're here, ain't it?
I don't know if Ojo's going to want to chase him or if he's just going to let Absynthos stay off himself.
He's gonna watch him go and turn back. All of us have gone off on our own, and he is willing to let him figure out what his stuff is.
Anyone else have anything to do or say before Absynthos wanders off into the temple? And Odril apparently just cannonballs into the middle of the oasis from halfway across the map.
He basically will just walk up to the tablet, and he'll be studying the tablet while we're waiting.
Okay. And Seabreeze is summoning the golden bean. Are you doing this as a ritual or just standard cast?
Oh, okay. Ritual, please.
Okay. Just so yes, it'll be a 10-minute down
It's
or
it's an
no,
hour
it's 10
and
hour.
10 minutes.
Hour and 10. That's so
it's 10
silly. It just adds 10
Oh,
minutes to
jeez.
an hour, but
Yeah. Takes 10 minutes to set up some candles and have a seance. I mean,
Oh, well, I'll just spend the slot then so that we don't have to wait here for an hour.
well, you have to spend an hour anyway. That's the cast time of the spell. It's just silly that to make it a ritual, you just add 10 more minutes to it. So it's just, you may as well make it a ritual.
Yeah.
It's kind of a screw you to warlocks who get on their spell list but can't
Yeah, that
cast
kind of
Vault.
sucks. I would like to have started that during Odoril's conversation. Can I do that?
I mean,
Can I
we
do
can
that?
hand wave a little bit of the hour
Okay.
time in a sense,
Okay.
like while Absinthoth is doing his thing.
Yeah.
I'm not super worried about it.
Yeah,
If it took days, story. Anyway,
Thank you.
would that mean the rest of us are getting a short rest if he's hand waving that?
if you guys don't plan to go anywhere else, the rest of you can have a short rest while you're waiting for Absinthoth. If your plan is
I
just
would
to
love a short rest.
lounge around the oasis.
Short rest it up.
Alright, so yeah, you guys are just kind of resting. Keeper is doing his thing. Absinthoth, you're wandering amidst the empty temple. As you wander further and further away, the din of your comrades kind of goes quiet, almost muted once you're past the point of the fountain. And just all around you, the temple is eerily quiet. Just the sound of wind, where there shouldn't be wind, kind of echoing. You swear you hear whispers kind of bouncing around corridors, but quiet.
Stupid trial. Get my own little trial for my bomb and get a damn stone. Typical reality. I think he sees a door here. Or is this another stairwell you can wander next to? Oh!
Inside are statues that seem to look at you with faceless expressions, holding up various torches that illuminate the room. And in the center of the stairs seem to form an odd pattern circling a dark pit, to which the light seems itself to fear.
I would like to cast light into the darkness.
With a fizzle and a pop, your light blinks into existence, but it seems to just hang suspended, illuminating nothing, a mere speck amidst the darkness.
That seems like a terrible idea, although this will be interesting later. Just gonna head out of the area.
That would put me in danger.
I went down there.
Oops.
Whoops, what?
Button I wanted to press. Anyway, what?
He's gonna go up down the corridor. I go to the. I think it's the first story he sees, and as good a door as any. Tries to open the door.
It opens.
What do I see inside? Is there even light inside?
There is light. As the door opens, that same kind of torch that with the topaz-like stone flickers to life and illuminates a small living quarters. Akin to the others you have seen in this place.
Seems relatively normal. Anything look like a drawer or something that might contain something?
Roll me investigation.
Can't wait to roll an 11. $15?
Okay. Yeah. You search around. There's a desk drawer, a dresser drawer, and there's a bookshelf here, but the books upon it are long since worn away.
Anything particularly interesting in these drawers? Something of note or value, or are they just old trinkets from a time long gone?
You open each drawer, the one on the desk. There seems to be stacks of papers, neatly tucked within likely due to Keeper's handiwork of sorts. Neatly tucked within, no writing is legible upon them.
Everyone else seems to be able to get their thing, and then what? I just never gonna meet the master now because I can't seem to find the stupid stone. Anything in the dresser here?
Sliding
it more
open the
paperwork?
dresser, you see several clothes. Nothing fancy or out of the ordinary. It seems like general traveling clothes. Several worn and holes patched. Again, you think probably Keeper's work.
How about the bookshelf? What kind of books or literature subjects would be on there?
So you kind of sift through the books, picking several up. The pages are long worn and the ink has gone away and left mostly blank or illegible writing. They look really old though, and in a tongue you don't seem to recognize, or at least perhaps it's because what is left is not fully written, like fully formed words anyway.
He's debating whether you should pick one up and keep it for a while. Is there any that at least seems most legible?
I mean,
Yeah, it's
there's
comprehend language, so you.
I will say there's one that seems to be in better condition than the others, but not so much that trying to read it to start. Like, there's no. What's left of what's written is mostly scribbles or faded marks, basically.
Oh, I see. Be interesting to see what they were like when they first were written. He doesn't think there's anything valuable in this room. I mean, these are barrels or these like chairs up in the
They're
corner?
just barrels.
He's going to take a look into the barrel.
They are empty. They smell perhaps of once containing wine in some form. Kind of the smell is seeped into the wood of the barrel, but its contents long since dried or removed.
Just going to take a look at the bed and the little nightstand. Is there any sort of hidden drawers or hidden objects or objects just straight on them? Looks like a lamp up here. Looks like a
Roll me an
book, too.
investigation.
We're definitely not going to get as good as a 15. Oh, that's intimidation. 18.
Try to scare the table into revealing its secrets. You kind of fiddle around the table, hoping to find something, playing around, and at first it's just an ordinary table, but your hand flicks across something. I would have sworn it wasn't there before, but maybe you just missed it for your cursory glance. You reach under and there's a small latch. As you press it, you hear a click from inside the drawer, and as you open it, a secondary drawer opens behind it.
Ooh.
And inside is an old pendant. Perhaps once valuable. A gold-like sheen still hangs to it, though a lot of it's rusted away. And on it is the symbol of a lineage or a family or a kingdom you don't quite recognize. You've never seen such a thing before. But one thing does strike you as very obvious. It is in the shape of a dragon.
I'll take that pendant. Maybe Keeper or Pestles might know. Maybe even the group they were with earlier on the caravan.
You're grabbing it, kind of looking at it, a voice is clear and loud, breaking the silence that seems to have fallen around you. Shatters this. Do you always try to find meaning in nothing?
Is this one of those literature lessons again? Where the curtains were just blue?
Perhaps. As a Levia, you must understand. Sometimes, things are just what they seem.
Looks at the pendant, looks back at Mother. And so you think this was just a plant? Or of a
No.
civilization so long forgotten it's irrelevant?
Perhaps. But look at this place. I thought I had trained you to be smarter than that, boy. This is a temple of desires, is it not? Perhaps by your own desire to find meaning in an empty room you found it.
It shows how great of a teacher you were.
Insolent. No wonder you will never rise to become a king.
Asthos is a little dejected from that because there's some element of truth, he thinks.
Even your sister, for all her wrongdoings, rose to be something greater than herself, akin to nearly a god. And yet, here you are, looking through empty drawers in an empty room, getting excited to find a cheap pendant.
It's sometime
Is that-
this pendant have value to someone.
Is that what you think? Or is that what you hope?
At the moment's what I ascribe to it. So does it really matter whether I think or hope?
That's what you need to tell me. What do you hope to find here? You and this party, this group. Do you really think you have any potential left?
Asthos just looking away from Mother.
You turned away from me. You turned away from your sister. You turned away from Zariel. And now what? You turn to them who reject you still. Why don't you just come home, my son, and accept what fate will deal to you then? After all, you see her reach into her gown and pull out a small stone. Its colors seem to flow and ebb. There is a darkness lurking within this one. Beneath the shine, something seems to stir. This is what you were hoping to find, isn't it? Hoping to walk into an empty room and simply find your answer.
Well, I guess if I can't find my answer, I guess I'll have to make an answer then. He's not making any attempt to go for the stone. He suspects it's a trap if he reaches his hands out at the moment.
She
Still holding the
simply
pendant.
just twirls it in her hand, kind of waving it within the light now. So what will you do then? Wander aimlessly until you find your God-given right, or your God-given purpose?
You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I am wandering aimlessly. Which would mean that stone that you have wouldn't have much value on it. Maybe it is just my purpose, just to be left behind. Going
hear
back
her
to you
chuckle.
won't change that.
You hear her chuckle a little bit, but it's as you say. It's only as much value as you seem to want to give it.
Looks
And
at
life
her.
abandons you, and everyone else does. And she simply just walks over and places the gem on the table here. You'll know where to find it now.
And now he's super conflicted. Looking at the pendant in his hand. Just because I know the answer's there doesn't make it a good answer. So it's the ultimate goal isn't just to see whatever the master of this temple is. They don't necessarily need me to be there or not to know. Just stares at Mother.
She gives you that soft grin that you know so well belies the daggers beneath it. Well, take your time looking then, for answers you don't know to a question you haven't fathomed. What do you desire, my boy? I know what you want.
Doesn't even dignify it with a response. He's just gonna continue to keep looking.
Okay.
He probably doesn't even know this is a trap.
Yep. As you step over it, go ahead and roll me a dexterity saving throw.
20?
Wow. You step and I don't know, maybe it's just out of pure luck or you're just kind of on edge at this point. You step and hear a soft click as several darts fling out from the wall and you just nonchalantly duck past them and keep wandering your head, lost in its own little world. You just hear your mother chuckling softly in the room. Right.
That one next time. It's gonna open up this door. At least attempt to.
It opens. Again, the room fills with light. You see a storage closet of sorts. Several barrels and lumber and other things are neatly stacked into every corner of the room.
I think it looks like a chest or some kind of drawer over here, or is that just
No, it's another, like, chest of drawers kind of deal.
He's gonna go searching through it.
Roll me an investigation.
17?
You rummage? Yeah. You rummage through it. Again, several bits of old clothing, documents again that have lost any word or meaning to them. But buried in the back, once more, you find something odd. Another lever, perhaps. You reach forward and perhaps doubt nibbles at your mind a little bit. Is this there because it was supposed to be there? Because you hoped it would be there? Flicking the switch, another door opens.
Wait,
And
where is it?
inside you see a small book. Well kept, despite the ages of time that seem to have ravaged this place.
Just gonna look at the book. Does the book have a cover with like a title or something?
Yes. Written in a language you don't understand.
Oh, if we're gonna be here for a while, I'm gonna cast comprehend languages ritually.
Alright, so for 10 minutes, just kind of hand wave this a little bit as everyone's taking a short rest. You contemplate your spell, cast it, and the words seem to gain meaning. In a tongue you're not entirely sure you know, but you understand. It's a hymn book.
Hmm.
Singing odd, structured praises to a goddess known as Heron.
Heron.
Heren. From what you can... Go ahead and roll me a... I mean, you understand the words. Go ahead and just roll me a quick, like, religion check. Huh. Alright.
This is on brand
Perhaps...
for this knowledge.
Perhaps just the dullness of the place is eluding you, but the words seem a bit cryptic even with the comprehend languages. You get that they're a prayer of some form, but details as to the nature of the prayer or the nature of the goddess they're praying to seems to elude you. Again, you hear whispers come behind you as you're pondering this. Once again, looking in all the wrong places, aren't you, brother?
He looks down at his pendant. Do you still see like the swirling, implying Madeline would still be in there?
The swirling is there, but you cannot seem to get a hold of her.
Wait a second. Trying to fiddle and fondle with his pendant. Just looks back at the pendant, back at Madeline.
Confused, brother?
No, no, no. This is perfectly normal and explainable. That means it probably isn't Mother, then. At least that's a plus.
Oh, yes, because Mother trekked all the way from home to say hi to you in a temple. You are that important, aren't you?
Well, it wouldn't go underneath the Mother's prejudice, so... But fair point taken. Are you gonna tell me I'm worthless too? Because I keep trying to look for stuff?
Oh, you already know that. Mother's told you that for me, so I don't have to do that.
Oh, there's a malevolent spirit here.
I'm just here to watch as you wander aimlessly through these twisting corridors. It's fun.
I imagine it is. I'm sure it's much like, you know, some animal that doesn't even know what he's doing.
More like the clueless brother who won't admit of what he wants. You're hoping to find reason, to find answers in this place to justify that what you want is correct or just, right? Just like a child would.
Mm.
See, Mother stands for her convictions. I stood for mine, as you well saw. And yet here you are, the little misfit, who needs a reason to believe that they should have a desire. Am I getting that right?
A reason to be here, essentially.
No. You just want to have your reason validated. To think that you are on some noble or just or correct or logical cause. Your desires, you know what they are, and yet you refuse to act or even admit them, instead hoping that somebody will say something or give you the proof you need that your desires are worthwhile. But that's not really what governs a purpose. Wasn't what governed mine. It's not what governs mothers, obviously, and it's not what governs your friends. So how long do you plan to wander?
Aaron looks at the door. Apparently forever. Is there any like seat here? Or anything
Yeah,
to
there's
sit
some
on?
chairs stacked in the corner.
He's just gonna sit in a chair, kind of slumping it a little bit.
Find that passion. Shout it to the world. And act on it. I chose to side with you for a reason, didn't I? I put aside my desire because I thought it would align with yours. Are you telling me I chose wrong?
Kind of looking out, probably towards the center of the room. She's still within the field of vision, just deep in thought. Wants to save Andoros. He thinks finding the master will help save Andoros. But he can't find the master because he can't get this
She
plot
walks up
MacGuffin.
to you and she just puts her hand on your shoulder and looks you like dead in the eye. What do you want? Saving Absinthos is a means to an end for you. Your friends are there to help. They are not your goal. You don't have their purposes. They have their reasons. Say it loud and clear. What do you want?
I want to be good. I want to be strong enough to do good.
And how strong would you have to be to do that? To face down armies, to face down demons, face down Zerial and hell itself. Tell me, brother, why did I choose you?
To be strong enough to bring Zerial to justice. For destroying our family.
We're so close. So close. Say it.
It's a dangerous temptation to say what I want.
You see her grin. And yet is what gives us purpose. It's what gives life meaning. It's what will drive you forward to go beyond mother, to go beyond myself. Say it.
There's a little bit of a nodding of a no. What I want is to be strong enough to take Zariel down in battle. And I think I need the power of a god to do so.
Always had to play the roundabout method. At last, you're finally saying it to admit it to yourself. It'll be a long and arduous path.
Mm.
You ready, brother? Grasp that power. Hold it in your hands and rain the vengeance you do so champion. For the good that you speak of.
Is it better to be good and impotent or bad and potent?
Neither. Because neither will get you anywhere. Best to seize the power and give it your all, or die in the fiery hells trying. You see her, pull, in her hand, she kind of chants a little something, and you see a ball of small fire appear in her hands. You sense something kind of gleaming within. Grasp it. Take it. You've always had it. You were just too afraid to take it for yourself.
How do I know this is some trap to bind myself to a service of a power I don't even know?
You don't. But given your surroundings, given your situation, given what you're seeing, what else can you do but take the leap forward? That's what you've always done, isn't it? You've plunged into the abyss. Why stop now?
Oh, I don't know. Hey, because every time I've done that, the outcome is usually pretty bad.
Because you hold back. You fear your result, so you half-assed everything. Commit to your desire. Grab it and finally, move towards it.
Out of character. What was the town that had the werewolf attack? It's Tilbrook?
Tilbrook, I believe.
Okay.
Where this whole thing started.
Several problems started. Let me make this character. Looks back at Madeline in the eye. Yeah, that worked great in Tilbrook. Had that been unleashed any further, I'm pretty sure it would have consumed every soul there. Instead of merely just lighting them on fire.
That is when you still followed Zariel. You've got me now. And you don't want to be anyone's pawn anymore, do you?
Mm. Looks at the flame. Looks down at the flames, just... And whose will would I be subsuming under if I grabbed it?
Your own. The only one holding you back is you.
I do an insight check.
Go for it.
Where's letter I? 6.
I mean, it sounds very truthful and very. She is just like hovering this thing in front of you, and I mean, you don't sense any malice or anything coming from her. Can't be the one that reaches the desire for you. You have to make the choice. You have to be the one to move forward. Else you can let me have my brain back.
Just thinking about it.
Last chance. She starts to pull her hand away as the fire starts to flicker and fade.
So if I can grab at the power is all my own, no strings, I'll be
That's
wholly
for you to.
responsible for everything.
That is entirely up to you. You're the one that's going to be fighting for it. I won't hold you back.
He still sees Madeline inside this thing's still swirling, he's still trying to contact. I assume it's unable to contact.
You get a weird feeling that it's not necessarily because you're unable to contact, it's because you're already contacting her.
Oh, that changes a few things. Yeah, then let's go grab for the flame. Let's grab that power.
You grasp onto it. You take 6 points of psychic that feels like burning.
Sweet,
It
got
scorches your
resistance.
hand. Huh?
Sweet, I got psychic resistance, so.
All right. And you hear Madeline chuckle and smile. She fades back away, and you kind of feel the presence back in your pendant, and you're left with a brightly glowing, vibrant gem with the words Ascension written.
Well then. Guess you did have somewhat of a point about being like a child lurking for something. Now to make good on that power. Find Andros. He's gonna try and hop on over, avoid setting off the trap.
Yep, it's pretty crude, and like I said, once you know where it is, it's not hard to get around it. Alright, so, about an hour-ish has passed as you guys are having your long rest, and finally Absinthoth returns, and the Golden Bean is resummoned, and is giving a verbal berating to Seabreeze about having let it perish.
I'm sorry.
I will only accept the finest of fishes for this. How dare you let me perish?
I understand. I'm sorry. We will do these things when we get out of here. But right now, I need you to help Hildy. She needs watching over.
And what do I get in return?
Oh, anything you desire, within reason, of course.
Golden Bean nods its head, eyes closed, appreciatively. Well, if my familiar asks so boldly of it, then it must be important. All right, little one, come hither, and this one shall soothe thee. He flaps over and perches on top of Hildy's head and curls up, starts purring.
Oh, this is I am tempted to roll an animal handling check for no reason other than I think it would be funny if I fail. So you know
Go
what? I'm
for it.
gonna do that. Here we go, guys. You ready? That's an 18 on the die.
Oh,
So
Hey.
21 total.
Oh, very
It
good.
purrs. Golden Bean purrs louder. Yes, good, good. Yes, let the healing, soothing magic of my peoples flow through you.
It's weird that you can talk. I'm just being real.
It would be oddly strange if I couldn't. A being such as magnificent as myself.
Okay. If
Hush, hush
Just,
now.
just go with
Let
it.
the healing.
all
Let
right,
the
all right.
healing commence. Now find the nice sunniest spot in here, and let the healing begin. And stay away from the water. I don't need that.
I think Hildy is too flabbergasted to put up an argument. She goes and she tries to find is there anything even remotely resembling sunlight in here?
It's an artificial sun in this room.
Oh,
What
okay.
I mentioned before. Like, it's
Okay.
brightly glowing in this room, so basically
Okay.
anywhere. He's just purring on top of your head and falling asleep.
I don't well, okay, make yourself comfortable, I guess.
Absentas?
Yes.
Did you just come back? Sorry,
No, I
the
have myself
reaction
muted.
was so funny.
Did-
Did you find anything?
Pulls out a gem, the red gem that says Ascension on it.
Oh, okay, you did. Good.
Oh, you brought Golden Beam back.
Yes, but what did you have to do? I mean, well, I guess you don't have to tell us if you don't like.
Just had a tough conversation with myself about meaning
Mm.
and why I crave the power that I do.
Seabreeze does one of those closed eyes. Okay. Craving power. I see. Okay. Well, I believe all of us have some sort of gems or keys now, correct? Or
Well, we could take at least a short, 10-30 minute breather before we go.
We've been waiting for you, man.
Absent Thoughts needs a spell slot back. Absent Thoughts would like a spell slot back, and he's willing to bribe people with create food and water.
Seymour's good. All he needs is tea.
Does Thamor carry tea ingredients with him?
I mean, depends on the definition of tea.
He does.
Like,
That's
technically,
all.
technically, you could just boil grass and that could be tea.
Uncle Iroh is spinning in his grave.
yes, boiled grass tea. I see.
New desert
Doesn't really be
favorite,
spoiled. You really just steep it.
palm frond tea.
Right now, it's actually just poisonous. Who would thought boiling palm fronds in water makes it poisonous? Oh well.
But yes, Absent Thoughts would like to at least get one spell slot back. If the party is so inclined to wait.
I don't think we're in any rush.
Just have a friend in jail and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's an extra hour?
Got
You know,
over a month's
weirdly,
journey back.
yeah, weirdly, I agree with Absent Thoughts. And it physically pained me to say that.
Okay. So you guys are gonna linger around a bit longer to catch a second breath of sorts.
Yeah, and at least to the credit to do something, he will cast Create Food and Water at 5th level. So at least it's a nice meal.
What?
45 pounds of food.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
It's 65.
You wanted a short rest to get slots back, but you're using a 5th level slot.
He's a warlock.
I'm
He's a warlock. He gets them back.
So it's
Okay.
free.
Okay, I get it.
There's
Wow.
more than enough food for everybody and water.
If we're taking another short rest, Odril will use one of his channel divinities that he will get back at the end of it to get back a 2nd level slot.
At the smell of immense amounts of food, the golden bean perks up. Yes, my feast has been prepared. I thank you, my familiar. He leaps off your
There's-
head, Hildy, and starts gorging on whatever fish he can find.
Yes, there's a specific barrel of fish just for him.
Oh.
Anything else you guys are doing during this second rest? Keeper just seems to be kind of eyeing you all with a bit of disdain of a host dealing with guests long overstayed.
Is-
Reactivating my armor.
Is there anything unique about the tombstone tablet in the center of the oasis? Like, is it made of a different, like, stone than the temple? Does it have some sort of magic laced into it? I guess Odril's just kind of studying it.
It does have magic laced into it because, like I said, the words seem to shift to match whatever you could read.
Okay.
So there definitely is magic imbued to it. As far as like the stone, have any knowledge of like masonry or stonework?
Yeah, he's got proficiency in mason's tools.
All right, go ahead and roll me a roll and see what you get with that.
All right. Would that be an intelligence
You
roll
can-
with proficiency?
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Doesn't really make sense to be wisdom. So.
I can roll wisdom too, but doesn't matter. I will roll something with proficiency.
Intelligence makes more sense for this. So
Okay, so that's a 14 total.
it, apart from the magic imbued in the stone, you can't really find any. Like, it is a unique stone. It's not the same necessarily as the walls around you, but you can't place where it may have come from.
Is it similar to the stone that the statue was made from in the first chamber?
Not exactly.
Okay.
Doesn't look like it's gonna come alive at any point.
Sure. Yeah, but other than that, he's studying it, looking at it, comparing it to what he's seen before, but otherwise is just waiting for the rest of the group to finish their rests so we can continue.
Anybody else have anything they want to do or discuss during this short rest again?
No.
Freya, Pestles.
Is basically just sitting at the foot by the stone tablet. Well, she did her short rest while waiting for Asentos, and she's now just, again, kneeling next to the stone tablet waiting for everybody to get done.
Okay. So as you go about the short rest, and Keeper being very annoyed and having to try to run around and clean up scraps and try to clean up the table before you're done, despite the fact that it's magic.
Does Keeper want any food?
He does not seem to eat. He just seems to be annoyed that you're eating and getting crumbs and other things that he's, whether real or imaginary, getting the place dirty. But after some time, you kind of catch your breath, get your spell slots back, and the table only lasts for 24 hours, so it'll be there for a while. But eventually that time passes. What then?
Well, because staying for 24. hours doesn't mean it has to stay for 24.
The golden bean eats all of it.
He'll eat what's
She's
remaining.
he's spherical now.
He is a rotund balloon that is staying in the air by pure, just unknown forces of magic.
No, we grab him and rub him really hard against Hildy's hair, and then he sticks to it.
What is wrong with you?
He is stretched out, sleeping on top of your head, Hildy, but it's sprawled out, kind of like a cat, kind of like melting on top of your head, kind of look.
Liquid cat.
Liquid cat. That was most divine. I must pay my compliments to the chef. Now, if you will, just walk gently, as I have eaten a fair amount, and I wish not to hairball it all over you.
I would prefer that as well.
Good, good. So, walk comfortably or not at all, and stay in the nice warm light.
Okay, can do for now, I guess.
Golden bean falls asleep on your head.
If you want me to take him away, I can take him away.
Yeah, would you? Yeah, thanks.
Okay, I gently grab Papoose him.
I appreciate the thought, but that's a little much.
Yeah,
He's in a food coma. He barely reacts.
My cape has become a fat cat
Baby
Papoose.
He is more or less in a food coma. He barely responds or reacts to you moving him.
We prepared to offer our gems and proceed.
Yeah, I guess so.
Heading towards the tablet, keeper just kind of. You sure you look nice for the master? He hasn't had guests in a while.
Is there etiquette we should adhere to?
Don't scream. And don't make a mess. And are you sure? And he kind of cocks his head. That's what you want to bring him?
As opposed to what?
You're the ones offering it. Voice wrong. Oh well.
I accept what I have been given.
Okay. If you're ready, then put your gems in the water.
Odro looks around at the others.
Well, so it sounds like the president asks him to put his gem in the water.
Odro will also set his gem in the water.
They will do the same.
You're setting your gems down. As they touch the water, it seems to glow more magnificently as the pond around you glows with the light that reflects the color of the stones. Some more vibrant and luminescent than others, some darker and more fading than the others. Almost in the blink of an eye, the light around you seems to come to a blinding flare. Before you blink,
Oh.
and are in a new room. And pull your tokens out to here. Right, they're pulling up well. As the light dims back down. What happened? Oh. Huh.
The dragon has a liquid cat on its head.
Curious.
Oh, that's not right.
Damn.
Just need Thamor? Yeah, just Thamor, I think. Token broken?
Yeah, it looks like I'm fixing it. But now I am there.
Yeah. So as the light kind of comes back, you're in a small chamber. A vortex of water swirls around you. And in the center, the most eye-catching thing, of course, is a large bronze dragon that seems to be bound down by tendrils of spells weaving around its body. As you are teleported to this room, it lifts its head and eyes you each in turn.
Before everyone moves, Odril straightens up, and you see him reach up with both hands, placing the symbol of Pelor between his hands, and the banner that's been attached to his back alights. And for the next 10 minutes, if you are 20 feet of him, you are immune to fear. You're immune to the
Nice.
frightened condition.
Ooh.
Stay
Nice.
close. Speak.
Wary little ones, aren't you? Seems almost a whisper, but resonates loudly through the room. I would offer my claw in welcome, but as you can see, I'm a little tied up at the moment. He looks over you each. Is that joke too old?
What is your name?
Yes. Right to the point, I see. You may call me Zenzo.
Being proficient or knowing the language of Draconic, does that name mean anything in Draconic?
It means desire.
Appropriate.
Then this is your temple.
No, I will spell it out for you. It's written in German. Probably pronouncing it horribly wrong. Pronunciation is Zen Shout.
Zen
What I can
shout.
get it. Sorry, and what was the question?
Odril just says, so this is your temple.
Yes. Magnificent, don't you think? My power runs freely here, despite my current predicament.
It seems more a prison than temple.
You could call it as such. It was not always to be my prison. It was once a place of reflection. A place where one could come to view their desires with an objective eye. Time erodes all things. I take it the world above is in a bit of turmoil now, isn't it?
Indeed. We have traveled here to seek a way to stop a war.
Wish to stop a war you know nothing about. Tell me, what do you think you know?
Use telepathic speech to Odril. Should we tell him about the crazy conspiracy at the end of us?
You see Odril just turn slowly and look at him. He is your companion. Do you wish to speak on his behalf? Or am I to be your mouthpiece too?
He'll telepathically go back. I'll speak. What we think we know is that one of our companions is imprisoned, in order to control some kind of god.
Scratching the surface. Such a mortal thing to do. Would you like to know? Would you like to know the real reason for this so-called war?
If it is
Yes.
so,
In character, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Ah, but such knowledge does not come freely. I am a dragon of desires. Offer me one of your desires, and I shall answer you. I should tell you a history that no one else knows.
Absal's just looking around the other people. Mhm.
What do you mean, give you our desire?
Exactly what I said, little one. In my temple, you faced several manifestations of your desires. You made your choices with them and were given a token. You will give that token to me, and perhaps forget desire. To some, desires are a burden, an obsession. Jealousy and greed breed from desires unchecked. So
If it
maybe
means to save many people from the war and from our friend, I will do it. I may not know if it's good enough, but if you need more than that, I will do what you ask.
upon saying that, your crystal seems to materialize in front of you and hover in front of the dragon, who reaches forward with a hungry maw and closes around it. Freya, the faces of your tribe come blurry in your mind. You don't remember where they are. You don't remember their names. You only remember leaving, and you don't remember why. Tasty morsel, a fine desire, flawed, arrogant perhaps, but it will do. You there, and he looks straight to Odril. You serve the god, don't you, boy?
I do serve the Sun Lord, Palor.
Oh, then they still play their games from ages past. We're not so different. Gods and mortals and dragons. When the worlds were created, pulled from the void itself by these so-called gods, mortals were created to respect them, to observe the order they brought about the physical world. And we, the dragons, are manifestations of your emotion, the desires you had to act upon the world. You know mine, and I believe you have met another.
Odril looks to the others.
The dragon is looking pointedly at you, Pestles.
And yep, Pistols looks back at the dragon, slightly puffs out his chest, and then steps forward and nods.
I can recognize his stench anywhere. Faust. So then riddle me this, little ones. I am a dragon of desire, greed, and jealousy. What then was Faust to you?
Absalom just continues to look over to Pestles.
Why are you looking at me? Pestos? You know Faust longer than Pestos? Surely you know?
Absalom raises an eyebrow, kind of leans in a little, like, go on.
Faust was a protector of world. Pestos think he's of life, no?
Seabreeze
Scratch
turns
it.
to her side and spits on the ground.
I can see where your reactions stem from. He was once the incarnation of hope for your kind.
Once was, sure.
Was, yes. And the hope fallen becomes despair and devastation. Long ago was an eternal war, as you mortals pledged one side or another, becoming pawns of the gods or thralls of the dragons, or those that stood to choose to fight on their own, giving into order, giving into emotion, the primal urges that once governed this world. It went on for centuries, until one foolish kingdom had a bright idea to kill a god. And he looks at you, Absinthos.
Yeah, his eyes are already intrigued by the idea.
You tap into the same powers they once did, unknown to the world before then, known only to a few gods. They found that power somehow. Sacrifice or some other way. And through it, were granted the powers to rival the gods. So they struck her down. Tell me, do any of you know the goddess of order, Heron?
May we make history or religion checks?
It is a name none of you have heard, other than Absinthoth, perhaps, from the book he has picked up.
That is not the name of a known god.
But people still worshipped Heron all the same.
Once they worship. But a god that is once killed did not come back in the same way. They felled the goddess of order, and with that, the world began to fall apart, breaking at the seam. And what should appear from there but the all-hungry void, trying to reclaim it lost? That was when the pact was made. Pact between all, so that the balance of this world could still exist. The gods would rule from their lofty thrones on high, but never intervene directly. The dragons would slumber, feeding on the emotions freely in their own dreams. But it seems it was not enough. Faust was chosen to protect the world from both sides, a mediator of sorts. He traded his memories, he traded a lot of his power, simply to be the first. The Guardian. But you mortals are foolish. Even we in our slumber could feel your emotions twisting and corrupting at the whims of the gods. Faust broke the first pact, didn't he? Brought ruin, brought devastation, brought the void back. And the gods called upon heroes to set things right, and to prevent the tragedy from befalling yet another god. They started again, didn't they? And now the pact has been broken yet again. I wonder what the gods will do. No, I don't really wonder. They're all too predictable.
What shall happen with the pact broken?
Gods will do what they have done best. Reset everything. Break it and rebuild it until it suits their purpose.
No.
Only some gods desire to keep the world as it is.
Some may. You may be able to find allies amidst those that have differing opinions. Not every god wishes to reset the world. Some have grown rather fond of you mortals. As for us, he looks down at the chains. We were slightly betrayed. For Faust being the one to break it, the gods deemed that as our breach of contract and locked us away, unable to act. That time is changing. I desire for ones to break the cycle, and here you are. Have we done this before?
What would you desire? What future would you desire upon this world that the gods would not?
everything. I desire simply to experience the world as it should be. War and peace, happiness and strife. Wish simply to let it be, without the trifling of others.
So you desire chaos, anarchy.
There's but one side. I desire the world to run as it naturally should. Interesting. He kind of looks over at you. You see him kind of cock his head a little to the side. Feel a presence about you I have not felt in centuries.
He's saying this to Hildy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. A presence. What are you talking about?
You see him kind of lean his head down and start sniffing. Perhaps she is not totally gone. I sense her on you, or at least a piece of her.
Whew, I would like to roll an insight check, please.
Okay. Against the dragon?
Yeah, she's gonna fucking try it. You know what? I have inspiration. I'm using it.
All right.
Okay. Oh, insight. Where are you? Okay. That's. Oh, that's gonna be a 20.
Okay. I mean, he's being truthful, and honestly, you detect that he's actually honestly surprised. Where are you keeping her, little one?
What did he say?
Where are you keeping her, little one?
I don't know what you mean.
Heron, I sense her on you.
I thought she was destroyed.
She was. Hence my curiosity. She was brought down and struck low. Somehow, a fragment of her seems to remain on you.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. This might be fantastically stupid, but I'm gonna pull out the multi-tool.
His eyes light in response. Yes, yes. That is her. But a small piece. Where did you find this?
It's mine. It's always been mine.
Mortals in possession of things. You dare claim to own a fragment of a body of a goddess.
Well, we certainly
The
didn't know that
gall.
that's what it was at the time.
Perhaps I overestimated the intelligence of this age.
What does it matter if she carries a fragment? My understanding is you oppose these gods. You do not seek their will.
Perhaps call it a mere curiosity. She was said to have been killed, and when they restarted the world, she was nowhere to be found. But if her body yet remains, perhaps then so does her spirit of sorts. Maybe she is not truly dead. Maybe she was reborn as something else entirely. Curious thought, perhaps. You have to indulge an old dragon his thoughts. I have been down here an awfully long time.
I would like to know something. Then, old dragon.
Speak. I will see if it's worth an answer.
Another of my order came here some decades ago.
Ah, yes. The tiefling thing, was it?
Yes,
He learned parts of the truth you now listen to, and left in a hurry. Though I could see through his mind's desires. He thinks himself capable of saving the world through subjugating gods. A strong desire.
Odro kind of, his eyes kind of glance back and forth. He's processing that information.
And what will you do, O stalwart servant? Your master bade you to strike down a god. Would you? But from what I can see, from what you told me, you see him grin a bit wickedly. It seems that your desire would strike him down instead, wouldn't it?
Odro's jaw is set.
you have looked into my soul. You know my desire. I serve to protect the House Roshan from threats within and without.
How can you do that? When even your master is unaware of the threats about him. Your desire isn't your own. It's one born out of servitude, out of a misplaced sense of trust.
It was my word, my oath. If one cannot live by their word, they are worthless.
If I were to say the only way to uphold your desire was to abandon it entirely, would you believe me? Let your foolish master run his course, or kill him. These are the only two ways to see your desire through, but the outcome will be different.
Tell me, dragon, what did my master offer you in payment for this knowledge?
A bit of irony on that one. He thinks himself so clever. He offered me the desire to protect his family, for the knowledge to save them. He knows not why he does what he does, other than he must. A bitter, sad irony.
Stupid.
Odro closes his eyes. And then steps forward.
Then I offer you my oath. And in payment, I would request back his desire, that I might return it to him.
Oh, an interesting offer. Are you sure you're going to remember to return it once you have given up your precious oath?
I know not. But the choice before me. My oath leaves me no other choice.
A bold one. I like you.
Seabreeze
Much.
runs over to Odoril and puts a hand on his shoulder real quick. Be certain of this.
It is the only way I can see.
No, there are always more ways. Always. She looks him dead in the eye.
I am a servant.
You are
It is
more
my
than
duty.
that. You are more than that. I was a slave once. I am more than that now. We can do this. We don't need to take his way. And she points to the dragon, clearly disdainful.
The dragon just kind of cocks his head and gives you a bit of a grin, like a toothy, sharp tooth grin.
Staring into his toothy maw, am I?
Yeah.
Do not be too hasty, please.
And what would you do then? Would you have me betray my oath?
That is your choice.
And is this not also my choice?
It is, but this dragon will twist it, as they all do.
I speak only the truth. I am a creature born of mortal desire. But desires are a wild thing. In excess become obsession. In violence become greed and jealousy. It's a funny thing, isn't it?
His words assume a trust unearned. We don't owe him anything, and we should not trust it.
The worm is a means to upholding my oath.
Her hand falls from your shoulder.
If I can restore my lord's true desires, beyond what this creature has twisted them into, then I would consider my life forfeit in that aim and pursuit.
Why do you think you owe him such debt?
I owe him my life because he has saved it. Without him, I would be a corpse many times over, wasting away as a bleached skeleton in some forgotten battlefield.
Do as you must.
Distrustful of my kind, are we, little one? I suppose serving under my kin has left you a bit uneasy.
Do you wish to tempt me, dragon?
Is that what you desire? To seek vengeance by slaying me?
You
It will
tell
not
me.
bring you. It will not bring you the calm you desire. It may fill the hole you so desperately seek to fill. What would you look for? And he looks like as he says, he kind of looks to the other scoop. You've already found. You just haven't realized it. And the time has not yet come for you yet to embrace it. I do not seek your destruction. I do not answer with malice or trickery. But the longer these cycles go, the longer this farce of a world continues, the more twisted the dreams of us dragons become. Faust was the first to fall. I don't know which one of us may be next.
All the more reason to slay you all.
Perhaps.
Even Thos looks over.
But can you truly slay us? Faust has come back. While mortals exist, while emotions and drive for the world exist, we too continue to exist. Whether as an ally or as your greatest foe.
But we will
That is the
exist
legacy.
free.
You say this under the yoke of a god. The bitter irony in that statement.
The gods do not wish this world to drop into chaos.
No. That is why they choose to reset it each time.
How many times?
This is the third, I believe.
What does this reset look like? Is mortal kind eradicated and reborn?
I am not sure. I have sat in this prison each time. From what I felt, the world goes cold and still, and a hue of red falls over the lands. And like the shattering of a window pane, it all falls apart. And then suddenly, it is as it once was. Birds chirping, the wind blowing, and the world moves forward. Vestiges of the past always linger, but those who often stare too long into it are driven to madness. If you do not believe me, you can go find the answers yourself should you choose. There was once a kingdom that killed a god. And even the gods aren't strong to eradicate part of history. Now, what do you plan to do with this knowledge? I have aid I can still offer, but it will come at a cost. A friend of yours is in danger, is he not? And yet you have many months to travel back. I can send you to him. Or perhaps it's more knowledge you seek. Perhaps answers on how to solve your desires, or whether they're boundless obsessions.
In exchange for what?
Your desire, of course. The offerings that you brought. Great power at a great cost. Such is my domain.
Hildy is straight up refusing to play. She just crosses her arms and just looks right at the dragon, doesn't say shit.
Or if it should soothe your conscience, and he looks over at Seabreeze again, we could turn this into a fight. You could try your best to slay me.
I will never go back to being a slave. I will never
I
give that
never
back.
asked you. I never asked you to be one. I have no need of such thing. The only one I keep around is that little one they call Keeper. His desire is unique.
He seems a
Even
slave.
the dragon seems a bit perplexed at this.
Yeah, he seems a slave to me.
I have told him to leave on several occasions. He will have none of it. He may be a fragment of a past that cannot be rebuilt. I fear his mind is a little broken.
And what would killing you do? And it seems, as you say, it is not permanent. You are merely a manifestation of a primal, esoteric power
All the
created
good.
by the gods.
All the good perhaps you would think a good food or drink might serve you. Maybe a temporary reprieve on your burdened souls to kill a beast as I. But you only know us from one other factor. You judge the intent of dragons from one who forgot himself centuries ago due to your mortal corruption.
Wrong. I judge you on your words. And by your own words, you have said you would let the world return chaos.
I simply said I wish the world to resume a normal state, with no interference from the gods, as it was supposed to be. They play a game behind the shadow, choosing champions and other ways to dodge the wordings of a pact made centuries ago. Does this not bother you? That I wish for that not to be the case? Should you choose to serve a god, I could care less. But it should be made of your own volition, and not the whispering necessities of a deity, or the promises of power they put on such brazen display. is a
lore.
world full of desires that do not originate from the person. Instead, those are desires born deity.
Perhaps, or perhaps the presence of a god which matches a person's desires brings out what perhaps they could not otherwise.
Perhaps. But for every one of those, I would say there are hundreds of fanatics and false believers. But I am not here to argue religious theocracy and semantics.
Fine. Then I shall take my master's desire.
And he reaches down and pulls out the stone from his pack.
With it returned, I can call my oath complete.
If that is what you choose, I will honor your selfless desire. And he opens his maw, and your crystal kind of floats slowly off the ground, and you see him close around. And Odril, you forget everything relating to the Roshans.
Damn.
You don't remember who they are, their name, but a passing figment of your memory. Like it's familiar, but you can't quite put a finger on it. Names, faces, events, a blur. And in your hands now a warm, glowing crystal that says family is written upon it. I commend you on upholding your oath, Paladin. Let's hope this was worth it.
Blinks, reaches up and holds the crystal in his hand, looks up at the dragon, and stands from his kneeling position.
I know not this oath you speak of.
Ah, yeah. Time to find a new desire. I wish you luck.
Turns and looks at the others.
What are you done here? I will return to Sunbreak.
I personally have no more business here. Just when we get back to saving Andros, the reason we're here in the first place.
See Odril's brow furrows.
A companion of yours?
Yeah.
It's a quizzically. Squints.
Uh-oh.
What if I desire? What if Pestil's desire to give up mine so that the others may have theirs returned? Is that how this game could potentially work?
You also forgot about
It Shred, you're
Can't hear you, Shred. You sound like you're in a tunnel.
I
He
muted
might be
him.
on the phone with someone.
Hey, he had forgotten to mute himself, and he's actually just talking off.
Ah.
Yeah.
Desire for desire, little one. You wish one back. you must offer one in return. Is that what you
Plenty of
seek?
desires Pestos wanted back. If only Pestos had known, if there we could get more, but two seem to have lost family in granting their desires. This is not fair. But could Pestos say, my desire is worth both of theirs? Because it, in end, is not something you as dragon would want. Yes?
Bull. That's not how that works, little one.
Ah, so is
And
one
you
gem
dare
for
call
one
the
gem.
trade unfair. For one desire, I bequeathed upon thee knowledge of a world that no one else knows. For a second, I returned a desire long lost to one who traded it freely to me. And yet you deign this trade to be unfair. I did not coerce. I did not lie.
Perhaps not unfair, but was hoping one for two could maybe work. But one for one gem, one desire.
Who knows? Perhaps I did him a favor. Not all desires are healthy, good.
I need not your pity, kobold.
Fine.
What I offered, I did freely.
Yes, granted. But if I cannot do that, I I wish to offer my desire to find out everything that Thamar has been desiring to know about the people that he is no longer part of. The shadows beyond the shadow.
Such a noble cause. Do you think so little of your desire that you wish to give it up so easily?
Well,
Or do you feel burdened by it, perhaps? Does it curse you?
no. But there is only one kingdom that has killed dragon, killed god, and no one can seem to remember where they're from. So logically,
I will accept your offer, if that is what you wish.
he opens his mouth
Is this
and
okay
he
with
takes.
Tamor?
Yeah, he's gonna look back at everyone and also lingering on Thamar.
Amor.
Sorry, dog was barking in the back. If that is what you want to, Pestles, but even he has said so himself, he knows not much of the outside world.
Tell me, knight, why is this not your desire? If the kobold speaks true, is it not your people?
It is my desire, yes, but if in doing so I must forget about them, I will not.
And Pestos is kobold, and if dragons all come back, well, and if we not know what Thamar's people might or might not be, the answer to dragons and gods walking around again. I still have Faust on my side, for what it's worth. I just want Dane to be a ruler. Because actually, I suppose that is a little bit scarier thought. And he's not just gonna offer the jump, he's gonna throw it at the dragon.
Good lord.
It flies towards him at a bit of a speed at first before it kind of slows and halts in front of his face. So be it. And his maw reaches forward and closes around the gem. Pestles, any memory of Faust, the conversations you had, they're gone. The memories of what he told you about the dragon's awakening, becoming a thrall, gone. You have your draconic elixir, and you don't remember how you came up with the idea. Perhaps in the absence of the way you really came up with it, maybe you just think it was a stroke of genius or something else, but there's a fiery part of you that seems to have died down. You don't know what that means, but we'll see what happens later. His eyes glow and he looks over to Thamor. Always needing others to help you find those you've lost. Is it not clear yet? You forgotten son of them. You once protected the kingdom. The kingdom that rose to kill a god.
No, it's not clear to me what happened. Where they may be.
They are lost, cursed to wander for their insolence. They were once known as Drake. They rose to conquer a god, and in doing so, the gods thrust them from this world and made them relive their torment in every era. Yet somehow you broke the cycle. You escaped, didn't you? They're still trapped. In every era, in every reset, they are doomed to die and become nothing more than a piece of myth, a fading joke.
Staring at Thamor. Pretty
There's
sure everyone's
nothing.
staring at you right now.
Absolutely.
Oh no. Thamor has what is it called? Stage fright.
Thamor's
No,
backstory
no,
is
his
the
weakness.
answer. It has been the whole time. Prepare to have every session be about you.
Of
Have
course,
you not-
Thamor punches gods. It's in his blood.
Yeah, it literally
I've been
is.
waiting for this whole thing for a fucking long time, and yet
Years.
Oh man.
Like, as they were. When you say they are lost in time to forever repeat just their destruction. Who was it? The gods who had done this because we had killed one of them?
said, you dare to stand against the gods. And not only did you stand against them, but your people succeeded and brought down one of them. This is a crime that no one could ever comprehend. It was not simply enough to wipe you from the map. No. The gods wanted you to suffer. When the world broke, they were the first to be erased. and they were brought back to watch as the world was broken in front of their eyes. And they were brought back to live upon it again, in a new place, under a new name. And then they were wiped out again, and again.
Who is he talking about? Is there anybody? I would love to make like a history check or maybe something. This is so awesome.
I mean, the history check in your current world is of again, the Kingdom of Drake was a rumored, kingdom over a century ago that vanished without a trace, and everyone thinks it's a cursed kingdom.
Okay.
So they existed a century ago.
Yep, and were wiped out very early, and nobody knows how or why.
But what we've heard from Thamor, again above table, is his kingdom was called Lysaria, not Drake.
Yep, they came back as a different name. And wiped out. Again. He remembers when the red cult, the moon of the cult came back and wiped his town out again.
Each cycle, a new weapon or a new means wipes them out.
Yep, they are always the first to fall. They are always the first to die to something. And they're always made fun of it, basically, and forgotten.
Man, that's actually really sad. I want more Thamor sessions now.
Screw Enderos, we're going on Thamor Adventure now.
We're going fishing.
Okay, not that much.
Thamor just shrugs. All right, going. He starts. I'm surprised you haven't started fishing yet. There's water. I'm kind of surprised that hasn't been the.
Yeah, it seemed like maybe inopportune time to go fishing.
You think? But anyway.
Seems a just punishment for those who would destroy the gods.
I am not the judge of what is just. I merely am telling you what happened.
Drake up in the top left corner of your character, Thamor, remember this pops up.
Thamor will remember this.
What say you, Black Knight?
I mean, he's nude.
Why you calling me Black Knight?
No, he said he's got his armor back.
Remember, it's
My armor is invisible
because of his chaos effect.
How long is it invisible?
Permanently. All magic that he casts is
yeah.
invisible.
So now
he's
Odril
just
just
ironically-
sounds racist, which is fun.
He's covered
Yeah,
in soot from getting burned.
Sure.
Did he burn by
I've
Hildy?
watched
That
like
is true.
5 times.
But the stain remains. Out, you damn spot.
Damn it, need some degreaser.
What say you, Knight? Do you wish to bring back these that would destroy a god?
Without question.
For what purpose?
Because they are my people.
They are the people who broke the cycle. And they called upon the gods a punishment just for attempting to destroy the Celestials. What would you do if they came back?
Rejoin them.
And then they draw again the god's ire?
And do as I sure have done before. And join them in the fight against the gods again.
And if the whole world is destroyed, reset because of this, you would find that just, you would find that true. cause the suffering of all others.
It would seem that the world has reset more than enough times because of this, because of the gods keep resetting it. Are we supposed to sit still until the gods decide that they are bored with this world again?
It was because of the destruction of a god that they started resetting the world. That is what the dragon said.
Yes, and they continue to reset it over and over.
Because of your people. Because they killed a god and welcomed the void.
And perhaps it might be best to finish what my people have started.
You are more foolish than I thought. You would welcome the void to destroy everything?
To stop the suffering the gods have created, yes.
The gods have kept
Void
this
is
world
already here.
existing.
The void is already here. So unless the cycle
points at
happens again,
Absinthoth.
I was hoping that would happen. Sweating in the corner.
it only goes away if goddess, god, whatever come back, you know? Or is already part of cycle, therefore can't get rid of it. Only choice, make no path forward. Break cycle.
And doom the world.
Is the world repeated already not doomed? What if doom is fighting against whatever cycle is?
The dragon has said there are gods who do not wish to reset the world.
Like who? Names. Is Paylor?
That would be my
Is
belief.
Amberly?
Yes.
Is Moon Goddess? Red Moon?
I know not.
Turns to look at the dragon.
What was that? Sorry.
Not a bad question that Vestal's just asked.
Sorry, I didn't. What was the question? I missed the question that he asked.
Which gods are the ones that do not wish us to be reset?
I believe the ones that your companions found themselves in servitude. They have guided and instructed you to save this world before, and the world going.
Huh? What?
The gods currently helping us now are the ones that do not want us at the world.
Not exactly the names that Pestles was looking for, but
Ask the ones you each serve. Perhaps they will give you an answer. Do not claim to know all the whim gods. The desires I am aware of, mortals.
but you were the one that told us that there was this disagreement. Surely you must know some of them. Or do you require more sacrifice to reveal your...
I do not have an equivalent exchange to offer. The desires of the gods are beyond me. The ones that could say they have wished to save the world could be lying, and I would not know.
Elidith is not of that nature. She always is honest. She is always looking out for people, good, bad, and those who are not even believing in her. I know she is a small deity, but she knows much more than you may know.
Do not say I judge any of the gods that you currently serve. Just that I disdain them all fairly equally. They are welcome to prove their intent to me, but until I know that, my domain does not extend to the gods.
What was the name of the god that got struck down that was part of the multi-tool that Hildy has?
Heron. Heren.
Mm-hmm. Who were the allies of Heron? Who fought with her?
She was an odd one. It was hard to tell if she had friends or foes, for few could deny her commands. Order was an incredibly strong power. Nothing could resist its pull, save that of the void and chaos. This is why they chose to kill her.
One who controls the order of the universe.
Now that is the question, isn't it? Perhaps she has not fully left this world. Perhaps she has taken a different form. Heron, as we once knew, seems to not exist. Yet stability is still here, but order is fleeting at best. Perhaps another deity has taken her place, or perhaps she acts as something else now.
Is there a way to bring her back?
You wish to bring back the catalyst of an endless war. Do you ask as means to try to stop its resurrection?
Would bringing this goddess back end the cycle of reset?
I suspect it would end the cycle of reset, but in exchange forever lock it into one of impermeable order, which would only be settled through centuries of blood and war, until the dust has settled and she alone reigns.
Sounds familiar. That's out of character, but
So her destruction has facilitated the world we know.
It would
But
seem
more,
so.
the destruction of more gods would only fracture it further.
Perhaps if what happened those centuries ago would invoke the same response. I am not sure the exact details of her demise, apart from the fact that it used the void to do so. If there are other ways of resolution, perhaps the gods can be dealt with. But who is to say it would be a permanent effect? Much like emotion, the physical permanence of the world is what anchors them to it. I am afraid I don't have the answers to the desire you seek now. The desire to save the world. The desire for the right outcome. Such is the problem. Simply because you desire it does not mean that there is one answer. Your desires will lead you there. It is through your own powers you will find that which you seek.
Out of character, Odril doesn't remember the Roshan family. Does he remember what Kazdi had told him that the White Order is doing?
Yes. You do remember her telling you. You don't remember who she is. It feels like you kind of got like a tip from an anonymous stranger or someone
Sure,
you
sure,
kind of know, but like I said, it's a very like fuzzy feeling. Like it didn't.
Hmm.
He can't completely eradicate the memories, but there's just a
Right.
dull. Yeah.
Well, I, for one, do not wish more gods to be slain. If the White Order seeks to slay or enslave more gods, it will only bring this world closer to one ruled by the void and consumed.
The White Order does not seek to kill the gods, little one. They seek to subject.
There is little difference. A god unable to act on its domain is merely a force of destruction and chaos.
Depends on the hand that wields, I suppose.
I find myself agreeing with this dragon. Uncomfortably.
Now then, what else you desire from me? Should you wish, I could send you all back there now. Or do you prefer to walk?
I wish to know something, dragon.
Speak.
What do you wish for this world?
I wish for the pact we held for so long ago to be truly all. A world where gods and dragons are but myth of the mortals, that we may watch with curious eye the way the world goes, without the machinations and plots of us. I have no interest in being a ruler or subjugating thralls. I simply desire to listen and be part of this world.
You know my desires. It's almost like you read them just now to me.
Desires are perhaps not too different then.
But you certainly know the destruction that comes from these conflicts of control. How can we trust that you really want these things? You've been imprisoned for centuries. Do you not desire to control your captors?
These chains bind me because I choose to keep them binding me. I can break them, but only doing so would bring the ire of the gods to me and send a party to slay me, as they did for Faust.
This was
I
my
am not
life
so
as well.
foolish. Hmm?
This was my life as well.
I am not so foolish, nor so inclined to draw that fate. So I sit and I wait, and through Keeper and his kin outside the temple I learn and wait for those that will break the cycle, so that once more I may rest. I do not care what you do. Do not care about your kingdoms or your squabbles. I merely wish to partake of the world in my way, without the dabbling of others who should not have their fingers in it, as we agreed so long ago.
I cannot believe what I am hearing. This is... Our desires are as one.
I know you harbor resentment towards Faust, and I cannot blame you. I only wish you knew him as I did, when he was a younger well. He was a guardian, an instiller of hope. That is a time long past. I will not pretend to apologize for him. He is kin by blood alone, but not of my brood.
Well, there are any other things that we may do. I think I might recommend to our group here that we align with you and help. I still do not trust you, but if you truly want and desire what you say, so be it.
Do as you will. I issue no commands. I offer no sense of kingship or lordship, nor will I offer the protection of such as one.
But you know much, so what would you say to a deal?
What do you propose?
Knowledge for knowledge. If it is difficult for you to know about the world above, outside of this place, you could return.
It would be amusing to have someone to talk to that isn't Keeper. Alright. If you return, I will impart with you knowledge in exchange for the knowledge you bring, and we will judge how equal they are. The more often you come, the more willing I will be to share. This strike your fancy.
She turns over her shoulder and looks behind her for notes of disagreement.
Odril's
Best does not have
watching.
anything better to do.
None from Tamar.
Slight nod for half this thought.
I think Hildy clearly doesn't trust this dragon, but she's
Yeah, we align there.
yeah. but she doesn't dissent.
Odero, what did you say?
Odril just watches, and as she looks back, it is your choice. You wish to serve this dragon? Trade it knowledge for knowledge.
I did not wish to serve anyone. I wish
It
to
is what you
barter.
shall do.
Well, if not opposed, Pestos could be a person that goes back and forth to Mr. Big Dragon. Pestos would love to know more about all these dragons that Kobold nowadays never hear about. No good stories.
I have a deal for you, if you care to listen.
Who is this to?
He just kind of says it to the group in general.
Mhm.
Any of you wish to stay, bequeath the knowledge you have with me for a while. Keeper will see to your attendance. I will send the others back to continue their journey, and I will restore your desires. Any of you wish to stay, if only for a short time.
Only a few of us have given the desires as so named to the dragon, though, right? So it's like
3 of you have, yes.
Okay. So, all right. I wish to return to free my friend. I merely wish to strike a deal in my previous offer to come back. Perhaps. Exchange knowledge.
My mission was to return with knowledge. Seems I have been given knowledge. I need no more from you, dragon.
There's no world where Hildy is going to decide to remain behind with this dragon rather than go and save Andros. So
So, out of character, is he saying that if someone or someone stay behind, the rest will be returned quickly to Andros? Yes?
If people are willing to stay with him for a while, he's not saying he's not going to imprison you, but wishes to just basically have a talking companion for a while. He will return the desires that he took, and he will teleport you back to Silverleaf.
Freya will look at everybody and slowly walk up to the dragon. I will take that deal.
Freya, are you sure?
She will look back at all of you. I am certain. I may not know all of you. My main concern is for you to get back to your friend, Andros.
Dragon, would you return her desires?
Keep my word. I will return all the desires I have taken, including hers.
How long?
Merely wish. For as long as they wish, but I ask for at least a month. I will not hold them hostage here, but I wish to at least speak for a while. It has been some time since I have had company. I do not get to speak to my kin, nor to other members of the world. And Keeper is only
About
has
as
so much
interesting
to
as the
say.
sand. About as interesting as the sand that he keeps on brushing from one side of the room to the other.
Yes, I would like to disagree, but he spends most of his time trying to clean the vortex of water beneath me. And clean the
And-
spell circle that will nearly kill him.
And see, if Pestos stay with Freya, Pestos can also make accompanying images and sounds. And I'm just gonna use artificing that want trinkets to make a couple of sounds, noises, throw in a scale replica of Faust's face in there for half a second, and then just clap, and then jazz hands.
I would be appreciative. One.
Would you return them to us?
No,
when
we
they
can't
are-
give up both our healers.
Would you return them to us when their time has completed?
If they so wish, yes, I will return them to you, wherever you are. This I do uphold as a solemn oath of my kind.
If one cannot live by their word, they are worthless.
Never lose that, Paladin. It suits you. And with that, he opens his mouth, and a glow kind of emanates from it. The memories that he took are restored for the desires he once traded. And in a blink of an eye, a magic swirls around those that are leaving, and you hear his voice. Be well then, and see what you can do about this cycle. I have hope you will succeed. And with that, you are teleported back to Silverleaf.
Sunbreak.
Yes, Sunbreak. That one. Damn it.
Whatever.
I wonder
make
if
a-
there's
Moment ruined, table flipped.
I'm going to make a
I wonder-
city in the map called Silverleaf somewhere.
I don't know why Silverleaf came to
I
mind.
wonder if there's like a half a moment that everyone could look back to the vortex and Pestos is holding his head and he's looking around, looks at the dragon. Oh, you motherfucker! And then
I knew that dragon was no good. I found revenge. If it's the last thing I do, I will kill this dragon.
Yeah. I think that's where we will pick up next week.
Jeez.
Nice.